The weekend, yes, Ikorodu City are cementing their place at the top of the MPFL. No clangers, no slacking, not even at this particular time. The game was played behind closed doors, right there at the Alba Township Stadium. And yes, they went there to the Elephant's Nest and defeated the Elephants right there at their home ground. 1-0. The game ended. Most definitely, Ikorodu City are sitting at top of the MPFL table, 44 points from 24 matches played already. Barisa United played out a 0-0 draw against Bendel Insurance, while Remo Star Sports Club, Abia Warriors once again made sure that Remo Stars, maybe or maybe not, they might not just be escaping that relegation this season. Because how do you go from title winners to being rock bottom of the MPFL? They played out a 1-0 draw against Abia Warriors over the weekend as well. And as it is right now, the top three in the MPFL, you have Ikorodu City, the Lagos-based team. You have Enugu Rangers, wait for 3 points. You have Rivers United, though they have 3 games in hand, they are on 41 points. And then there's Nasarawa United, also with 41 points, right there in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Away from the home front right about now, still more stories are coming through. Okay, before I leave the home front, let's quickly go straight into the world of athletics. Over the weekend was a bit of a shocker, because for some of us, we are told that maybe the last of the athletes that will be leaving Nigeria for greener pastures, for greener shores, is going to be Eze Brume from last year. But we got it wrong this time around. Because Favour Ashe have also dumped Nigerian athletics to go and switch allegiance to a foreign country. Just look at it, max exodus of athletes, rising stars who are leaving the shores of Nigeria just to make sure that they have a better outing when it comes to athletics. Should I say lots needs to be done with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, because all of this started from the last Paris Olympics in 2024, especially with that particular one that happened to Eze Brume. And not just Eze Brume, Tobiloba Amusan also had her own fair share of whatever the controversy is with the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. I think we need to talk a little bit about this this morning before we go on into the other spot I've got. Okay, let's move ahead, and straight away we'll go straight to Europe, starting with talks coming through from the world of tennis right there. Just like I mentioned to you, a couple of actions currently on the way, talking about tours, the WTA 1000, the ATP 1000, all of these tours currently on the way. And next week is when we'll be seeing the Doha Tour. And for the Doha Tour, our big names like Novak Djokovic have now said, you know what, I think I need to get some rest just after the Australian Open. I really do think I need to get some rest, and that's exactly what he's doing. In the WTA this morning, Karina Muchova clinched her first title since 2019 as she overcame Canadian teenager Victoria Mboko in the Qatar Open final. After a 6-4-7-5 victory, Czech Republican Muchova said it had been a while since she won a tournament, so it's nice getting the feeling once again. The win, which is our first WTA 1000 event and second overall after the Korea Open 7 years ago, will move her from 19th to 11th in the updated world rankings that will be released from 12 p.m. GMT later today. And a cleanly opening, this 29-year-old landed 75% of her first serves with just 3 points dropping on them. Mboko, of course, the rising star, 19 years of age already, managed to take the lead 4-2 in the second set, but Muchova broke twice to seal the victory in 94 minutes. The next WTA 1000 event gets underway this weekend in Dubai, but without Aryna Sabalenka and also Iga Swiatek, the world's top 2 players. Sabalenka, who has been out of action since losing last month's Ocean final to Elena Rybakina, said she was not feeling 100%, while Swiatek, a quarter-finalist in Doha, pointed to a change of schedule. Still more thoughts coming through from the world of sports on this show this morning. It's still sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Tiptoeing through some of the major stories making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. Just so you know, this is the first installment of the show for today, and we're back here later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Hub Show, where we'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews, 1 hour of preaching the gospel of sport to you. whether you're a sports person truly, and whatever your gender is, trust me, I've got you on my agenda. Quickly, let's switch to the world of basketball, and I'll bring you some of the recap of the NBA All-Star event that went down last night. I mentioned that to you already. Was it last night? Early this morning. I beg your pardon. Don't forget that the game went down right there in the United States of America. Anthony Edwards named the most valuable player in the All-Star game as USA Stars beat the USA Stripes 47-21. The Minnesota Timberwolves guy scored 32 points and added 9 rebounds and 3 assists to claim the Kobe Bryant Trophy. In the 75th edition of the NBA All-Star Game, there was a change from the traditional Eastern Conference against the Western Conference format. A new round-robin tournament consisted of 4 12-minute games between 2 sides from the United States, one filled with young players and the other with veteran stars and one group of international players. Edward, who is 24, along with Oklahoma City Thunder's Chet Holmgren, each scored 8 points as the Stars dominated the championship game, while Team Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers scored just 9. The NBA All-Star all-time scoring legend, I was talking about LeBron James, who is 41, was also making his 22nd appearance in the All-Star game, added 5 for the Stripes. And in the round-robin opener at Los Angeles Clippers into Dome, Edwards scored 13 points as the USA Stars beat the World Team 37-35. The World Team were without injured stars, the likes of Giannis Antetokounmpo and also Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, while Nikola Jokic and also Luka Doncic combined for only 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in the game, as well as the new format was also seen as a success after criticism of recent editions being lackluster. Big figures like the former U.S. President Barack Obama was also courtside mentioned, and I know a lot of people have been concerned about the All-Star game and not seeing as much effort, but then it was evident in the game. I saw the tracksuit that was made for the athletes yesterday, and I tell you, it was something so good for the eyes to see. Amazing that is. Away from that right now, going straight into the world of football on the show this morning. Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1. I already mentioned to you that Arsenal, the Gunners, are currently still fighting on 4 fronts as we speak. Most definitely into the finals of the Carabao Cup, now into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Of course, they are gunning for a place in the next round of the FA Champions League, and they still sit at top of the English Premier League with 4 points. I've seen that game over the weekend in their FA Cup encounter. I also mentioned to you that they had a lot of firsts. This is the first time that I'll be seeing a player of Arsenal having 2 assists in a game that's in an FA Cup match at the Emirates Stadium. Gabriel Martinelli has now scored 10 plus goals. The first time an Arsenal player will be doing that since 1994-1995. And also, we also saw Noni Madueke stepping in so well for Bukayo Saka, getting that last-minute call-up again in the match against Leeds United, and right about now is holding on to that particular position. The big question is, if Bukayo Saka returns from injury, what happens to Noni Madueke? I've got Mr. Kayode in the studio this morning. Hey, Mr. K, what's good?
Good morning, Ewa. How are you doing? Good morning to our listeners too. Yeah. How was the weekend?
Man, good, I would say. Of course, lots of actions in the world of sport, yes. And I mean some personal stuff too.
Yeah. What was the highlight of the weekend?
Well, I'll say my highlights happened this morning.
Okay.
And has to be the NBA All-Star game. Yeah, because I don't know why these days I stay up to just feed my eyes on some proper and quality basketball game, yes. And I saw it happen. The point guards, the amazing scores, especially with some of the big names. Some of them could not play. Yes. The likes of LeBron James could not play. Even Steph Curry could not play. They were just by the court side. And of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's like
he has been talking over the weekend.
That's like the main reason why I sat to watch that game.
He has been comparing himself with Messi and Ronaldo. So I don't know if you see the story.
Yeah, I saw that. And he could not make a pick. Talk about Messi and Ronaldo. Referencing himself being an hard worker. So he wants to pick Cristiano being an hard worker. And talk about talent. He feels Messi is a pure talent. But I really don't want to get into that conversation.
I don't like getting into that conversation.
Whenever it is that we get into that conversation, I feel like anybody that is being compared with those two is already made it in life.
See, let me just tell you something about those two guys. If you are a Manchester United fan, there's no way not love you Ronaldo. If you're a Real Madrid fan, you love Ronaldo, no matter how it is. And there has been a rivalry between United and Barcelona. So everybody know who they are going to solve. See, just leave those guys alone. They are on their own planet. Just leave them alone. I don't like getting into that conversation, because that's where you start talking about the talent, talking about the hard work, and everything. So, and you know, the two goes together.
I mean, a lot of things, if you want to compare them, one with 7 Ballon d'Ors, one with 5 Ballon d'Ors, one with a World Cup, one without a World Cup, one with a certain number of goals.
I don't know if you heard where the Chelsea legend like Mikel and Terry were talking about Hazard.
Yeah.
They said Hazard is a guy that is very talented, but what? He didn't work on it.
Yeah.
Because they say that Hazard, when he gets to train, he doesn't train. In fact, all the coaches know that he doesn't train.
It feels like he's talented.
But once he's on Saturday that they have a match, you just see him, just give me the pass. But look at where it is now. He went to Real Madrid, he was not able to perform very well. That is talent. But did he put hard work to it? No. So our listeners should get their
let's get straight into the conversation right about now. Let's talk about Arsenal a bit on the show this morning. Of course, you saw what they did over the weekend in the English FA Cup. Putting behind them what happened against Brentford City the last time out in the English Premier League. Still fighting on forefront. Arsenal, can they do the chord? Yes,
I've said it several times on this show that Arsenal is going to win the league. If you look at the way they are playing, in Premiership, teams will actually find a way to get you out. Like they actually look for a way to counter what you are playing, and that is what is happening to them. So you expect those kind of runs to come. As a champion, you can't say that you want to have the 38, the era of winning 38 matches has gone. So you have to get that.
I mean, at the point this season, we were talking about Arsenal not conceding 15 goals. Yeah, that record being held by Chelsea.
Yes, you actually move from that now to how they go to win. See, when I watch the match, they actually feed a second team per se. And if you see the way they are playing, at that 30-something minutes, they are already on 4 goals the first half. So I was like, maybe after when they get to the second room, the dressing room for the second half, maybe I told them that, guys, just
okay, just leave that 4 goals. I mean, how do you score 4 goals in 30 minutes?
And if you look at all the way these goals came in, it was just too easy. It was just too easy. So it shows the kind of quality they have, that if they can use their second team and still get 4 goals in 45 minutes, it shows the kind of quality.
I mean, I think all of their 4 goals happened in just 15 to 17 minutes.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So it shows that they have quality. That they are, no matter how it is now, they are the only team in Premiership that have first team and second team that if anybody actually had an injury, now you are talking about Madueke and Saka. Before, the pressure used to be on Saka. Now Saka is almost there. In fact, we are not even feeling the.
We've not talked much about Saka for Arsenal this season, like last year.
Last year,
2 years ago.
It shows the kind of quality they have in that team, and it shows that if you have a quality in your team like that anybody can come in and fill in for you, then you are going to win the league. What is going to happen to Man City now is that Man City doesn't have that bench. Do you understand? If you look at the match they play against, even Salford, they struggle to score the second goal. In fact, for them to score the first goal was a struggle, because the first goal is an own goal.
Thank God for Magay.
The first goal is an own goal. Do you understand? Before they could score the second goal, it was a struggle. They actually need to bring Magay and Semenyo into the team. Game. So it shows that when you look at them toe-to-toe with Man City that is even following them, Arsenal is still the team that can win the league.
All right, we're back later this evening to talk more about that game, but other top stories making the rounds right about now. Let's go straight to Liverpool before we go away from the English Premier League and talk about Liverpool. I have to talk about Mohamed Salah, who has now been picking form since he returned from the AFCON, and also he's been doing something recently. He's trying to put off the pressure from himself and kind of like putting it on Dominic Szoboszlai, because he was being asked after the game, the FA Cup game this weekend, and he says the only thing he wants to happen now is that Dominic Szoboszlai should not get injured, that the whole team is now resting on it. Imagine your attacker saying that your right back or your midfielder is the brain behind your team.
From my own, I think as you've said, even not him alone, the coach has been trying to take the pressure away from him, and for the fact that they knows that he himself Salah knows that this might be the end of his career in Liverpool. So he's trying to take away the pressure from himself, so that if nothing happened, maybe they didn't qualify for the Champions League, they didn't qualify for anything, nobody was going to hold him responsible
exactly.
And he actually live like a legend that he is for Liverpool
right now.
So he's trying to take away the pressure away from himself, and you can see that Szoboszlai is a guy that I even cannot even the way I'm looking at it, the guy maybe in the next 2 years, Szoboszlai will leave because the quality of Szoboszlai is
honestly
kind of
from their title-winning team last year, he's been the only one who has been showing up.
Yes, consistency. Yeah. Look at it from the match against their Arsenal. That 1-0, the first leg, where he scored that free kick. If you can see the way he was actually making sure that my team has to win. He was even doing as if he was the captain.
He's been an utility player this year.
He has played the right back,
attacking
midfielder, play right winger, play from the 4. You understand? So he has been the utility player for them in that Liverpool. And he's for Salah saying that, I think the guy wants to leave on a clean slate. Like, this is my bidding of my season.
Don't put any pressure on me.
I don't want the Liverpool fans to start coming for me. Look at what they did to Alexander-Arnold. So I don't think he wanted to do that for himself.
I mean, talking about Arnold, since you mentioned his name already, the Real Madrid coach Alvaro Abello has now praised him, saying Real Madrid are lucky to have him. And don't forget that they won 4-1 in their game against Real Sociedad.
That was world-class assist.
Okay, now I was having a conversation with someone about Liverpool missing. I think I was on live one time, and I was talking about Liverpool missing Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the person be like, he doesn't think as Liverpool really miss Arnold as much as they miss Brahim Diaz.
No. See, Arnold has been the integral part of that team since even before
academy days.
So they are going to miss him more than Luis Diaz for me, because it's not all the time that your attackers is going to deliver. But you can have a situation whereby your defenders can come in and give you that one square play.
I mean, at the point in time, Gavidor was the highest goal scorer for Manchester City.
Yes, but if you look for now, when he was struggling for goals, Arnold would have come in and start giving us that across,
or Robertson.
That cross, or you understand. So you know when Robertson and Arnold were the best center, best
right and left back
in the world that time. You know the number of goals and assists they that came in between them. So it shows that they are missing Arnold, because if you see what the guy did yesterday, no.
I mean, he did set up that amazing goal for
Garcia. It was awesome. I was like, and most of the attack was not coming from the right flank, because they actually leave him like, guy, this is your wing.
Now quickly before we know that Real Madrid will be in action later this week. That's in the UEFA Champions League. Do you think Abelua will be resting Arnold for Cavalla?
No.
They both just returned from injury.
To what Arnold plays yesterday, you already know that Arnold has already cemented this team. But what might happen is that he might not be able to be playing 90 minutes, and so that they won't want to stress two of them because they are just coming back from injury. So when we come in, I'm very sure at least Arnold will be playing like 60 minutes, because that yesterday game was a masterclass. All
right, away from that, let's go touch on the German Bundesliga because of our time. We shouldn't pass it already. Over the weekend as well, Harry Kane has now joined the 500 club. And a lot of people are saying the biggest loser in this Harry Kane issue is Manchester United for not signing him that year that they went to sign Rasmus Højlund. Remember, it was the same season United tried to sign him, and then he went to the German Bundesliga because they were not coming. But of course, Harry Kane has now scored 500 goals for both club and country at the age of 30.
You know, since the days after Alex Ferguson and David Gilla played Manchester United, United has never been serious with their transfer. They will see them prolonging the number of transfers, like, they will be speculating, talking about this player. Before you see other club will come and take the person away from them. You know, Bayern Munich, the way they do their deal, when they talk about you, in fact, sometimes we won't even hear that they are
much talk. They just switch into action.
They switch into action and do it very well. So Manchester United, because they have not even get that center nine that they were looking for, and you know that as a Manchester United, for Manchester United Football Club, major of the core DNA actually center on the center forward and the wingers. True. So since then, we've tried a lot of strikers that has not been worked. Højlund, Sesko, Marcia, even Rato, some Rashford.
They brought in Edison Cavani at the time.
Cavani. Those guys are Cavani and
Falcao
came in. Ibrahimovic. Those guys are at the last leg of their career. Do you understand? They can't give you that long term. But you know, Harry Kane at that time was still still young.
I think it was 29.
It was 28 at that time. So you understand, it was 28 at that time. So they should have bring him in that time. But you know, United with their transfer and the sporting director they have those times, they keep prolonging matters of how the players they want to buy in, and this is what is affecting right now. It's a good one. Harry Kane is a good one. At least he has proved himself that out of English Premier League,
because honestly, at the time when he was moving to German Bundesliga, a lot of us were like, if he moves to the German Bundesliga, of course, it's more like a so-called farmers league.
Yes.
But we do not expect that he's going to turn up.
Yes, because we all know that most of English players,
they struggle outside.
Once they move away from EPL, they struggle outside. But I reckon has actually told us that yes, I'm a best player. I'm a best player. I can do this thing myself out of EPL.
Harry Kane has scored 280 goals for Tottenham Hotspur, becoming their record scorer. He's now also scored 126 goals for Bayern Munich in just 2 years in that particular club. Don't forget that he signed for them in 2023, and also he scored 78 goals for the English national team. Away from that story right now, let's touch on the Italian Serie A. A lot of wrong calls over the weekend. Yesterday, it was the turn of Gift Orban, the Nigerian player right there. For what is of a no contact situation, he got a straight red card in just 10 minutes. On Saturday as well, we saw the same thing in Juventus versus Inter Milan, where Kululu was also given a straight red card. The referee designator came out and said the officiating was also wrong. But now he's pointing and accusing fingers. He says some people are also not in support of the officials to work properly.
What is it talking about? The owners, the president, or the CEO of clubs?
Well, that is exactly what he said.
We didn't know, because actually, if you are saying that means you are pointing out some people fingers, like yes, because when for that derby Italia, if you look at the game was very good,
balanced,
very balanced game, not on the direct card.
Yeah.
Now my question,
78 minutes,
on 78 minutes. So when I was checking that gift about, I was looking for what really happened.
At the time, sorry, I mean we're in the studio, but at the time I was thinking maybe it was because he raised his stud, but the stud didn't even go close to the player.
He doesn't go to the player at all. I was just looking for where is the red card coming from? What really
maybe because of the gesture, like why did you blow?
Yes, now
could it be that?
There was a question on that derby Italia where they were saying that a lot of questions have been coming in that does VR need to check a yellow card that will lead to red card? Because actually if the VARs have called for that red card, you might now not giving that Kalulu red card on Sunday, but it was on Saturday. It was on field decision. So people are now saying that do we need to look at VAR for a yellow card that will lead to red card? Because if it's a straight red card, the VAR will look into it. Because I'm very sure that Kalu red card wasn't worth it.
Very wrong call.
Very wrong call.
And he killed that game.
Well, that was killed the morale of the game, because the game was balanced and we are enjoying it, as you understand. But actually, and one thing I know about the Italian referees is that they are one of the good referees in the whole world, because top 5 leagues. Because when you look at them, when they make a decision, they don't talk to the players. They always they don't talk to them. You understand? So they are one of the good refs in the whole world. But I don't know what really happened during this weekend, because we've not been having these
two wrong calls
within the weekend. And you know the VAR that they were using before, if their own VAR was they are the one that started using that VAR referee that we showed the simulation of everything before the EPL started using their own. Now they stopped. Now for the guy that was talking about the people that are pointing finger to some people, he actually need to tell us that what was it, because we are hearing about that maybe the CEO of Inter Milan has some is an alleged, but we didn't know. A lot of things will be coming out because the debut.
So that also confirms the story.
That might also confirm.
There are some people that are looking to spoil that the officials are doing.
Yes.
All right, away from that right now, what you have mentioned is Nigerian playmaker Paul Onachu, who has now scored 16 goals in the Turkey Super League for this season. Don't forget, I went for AFCON for 4 years and he's back and is now the top scorer. I remember when he was in the Belgian Premier League as well. That was in 2022-2023. Was also the top scorer with 33 goals at that particular season. Paul Onachu, I mean, of course, he does well when he's playing for clubs, but really not done that for the Super Eagles.
The reason why I want to cut him, I don't want to talk about much with him as a Super Eagles player, is because if you look at the way the team that he has been playing for are playing.
I mean, his club or the Super Eagles?
The club that have been playing for. They actually have wingers that put ball into the center circle for him to actually that head the ball into the net. But in the Super Eagles, we don't have a natural winger. If you look at most of them, they cut back. Do you understand? They don't play that direct cross into the box for him to nod. All of them, they have to call back on the byline and play into the box, not directly on his head. So that's why he might not be able to perform very well for Nigerian Super Eagles. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the quality of deliveries is having in clubs and country is different.
It's different. All right, Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, we're here to serve it to you in bits and in pieces. I'll be back here later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Hub Show, where we'll be dissecting some of these top stories, going straight into the nitty-gritty of them as well. Before I wrap up this morning, let me inform you that the Nigerian Falcons, the under-20 team, have now made it into the next round. That was the final qualifying round for the under-20 Women's World Cup that will be happening later this year. They will be facing Malawi in the final round. Of course, when you talk about age-grade football on the African continent, you want to leave it for the Nigerian ladies team from the under-17, even to the Super Falcons. And of course, the WAFCON 2026 will also be starting in 29 days from now. Let's go touch on it before we wrap up.
Yeah. I saw the highlights of the game, and they actually played very well. When it comes to under age-grade football for the female national team, they used to perform very well. Even to Falcons, not until some the likes of Morocco are coming behind there, and they're trying to put their weight and all those things. So, and for the another thing about our Falcons is that people are talking about the fact that they didn't play enough friendly games. Do you understand? Not until they organize a WAFCON, a WAFU-B.
The four nation tournaments
which is very close to the tournament. So how do you want them to quickly adjust themselves, get the tactics with the coach, and those are the things. But because we already believe in ourselves that yes, it's our Super Falcons.
As long as it's female football in Africa,
forget it. They're going to perform very well. And if you look at the margin, you see that it's getting closer. Because with Morocco and Nigeria, that's final. You look at it was very close. We have to call for two goals down. It shows that those people are catching up with us. We need to be serious. We need to be able to make sure that we maintain that our standard. But NFF is supposed to have done better when it comes to Super Falcons. When they are international break, let them play their own friendly matches too. It's not bad for them.
Now let's wrap up the show this morning. We're back here later this evening, 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Hub Show. Later today, we'll be seeing a couple of games in the FA Cup fourth round. Macclesfield Town, the team that defeated Crystal Palace, that team that is in sixth tier of the English football, will be up against Brentford at about 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Games in the Spanish Liga, Girona will be up against Barcelona. In Italian Serie A, there's going to be a game between Cagliari and also Leeds right there. Quickly, Macclesfield Town, do you see them springing up a surprise against Brentford tonight?
It's a FA Cup match, so anything can happen in FA Cup match. But look at Macclesfield defeating Burnley from a goal down on Saturday. So it's FA Cup. Anything can happen in FA Cup. That's what we used to expect.
But we have not seen that. We have not seen much of an upset in this round. The last big upset we saw was Manchester United against Grimsby.
What about Crystal Palace and Macclesfield?
Well, okay.
So don't worry. Then we need to talk about the Atletico Madrid match too. What is wrong with these people? Like, they will just give us one spectacular match, the next match, especially in the league.
Well, I think it got it wrong from the formation really, and then in that particular game he benched Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman did not start that game, and for me, I feel like you have the team that are already gelling together and they're already giving you the result you needed. 2 games are back to back. They've done amazing for you. Why go in and tweak the formation last minute into a game against Rayo Vallecano?
Wait, before this game, if you look at the trend very well for the last 5 matches now. After which match they played one match where they beat Real Betis.
1-0. And then the second game, Real Betis defeated them.
Now look at it now. They defeated almighty Barcelona with that 4-0.
Only to lose to Rayo Vallecano
again. The team that's fight for relegation. So it shows that I don't know why when it comes to league, I don't know why they play like that. But when it comes to cup competition, they actually go out of their way and perform better. So I don't know what's happening to them right now.
Well, if you ask me, I really do think that maybe Diego Simeone is looking to win something for himself. This might just be his final season with Atletico Madrid, and he's possibly setting his sights on a cup competition and maybe not the league, really. Because if you check it right now, I think they are sixth on the log.
Yes, they are
sixth on the log, and there's no way they are catching up with either Barcelona or Real Madrid.
But you have to play for pride now. There's the Champions League there. You're supposed to play. Atletico Madrid is a big club. When you look at it, they are a big club. They are supposed to be fighting for the league, not just one cup competitions. Do you understand? So maybe it is high time for them, those people at the Atletico Madrid, to look for a way to make sure to go to the next level, because Simone has been there for years. So maybe they need to look inward, like for them. And if you look at their transfer, they always spend a lot of money in their transfer. Do you understand? They sign quality players, so it shows that they have money. But can their coach take them to that next level?